Hello everyone, welcome back to Dugout Daily. I'm Charlie and today we have another video. This time we are talking about the story of David Silva after he had to recently retire due to an ACL injury. Before we get going, make sure to like, share and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel, hit the Apex CF1 channel and at MCFC Hibs on Twitter. If you want to hear about any other stories in football or Formula One over on the F1 channel, get them in the comments. We will be reading them, of course, and we will get back to you with other stories to talk about in the world of football and Formula One. So we'll get going then. David Jose Jimenez Silva was born on the 8th of January 1986 in Aguinigin, which is in Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands, to Fernando Jimenez, who was a former municipal police officer and was eventually responsible for the safety of the Valencia Stadium, and Eva Silva. His father was Canarian, while his mother was of Japanese descent, and however that was claimed by the Canarian media. He began playing football in the youth team of UD San Fernando, which was near Mas Palomas. Originally, he played as a goalkeeper before becoming a winger, and he mirrored his game around his footballing idol Michael Laudrup. When he was 14, he received an offer to become a youth player at Valencia, which he accepted. He stayed in Valencia's youth setup until he was 17. He was a product of Valencia's youth system and made his professional debut in the 04-05 season with Segunda Division's Eibar while on loan. He played 35 league games and scored 5. In the following season, he was again out on loan, however this time he was at Celta Vigo, where he played 34 matches and scored 4. After 2 late sub-appearances, the first in a 2-0 home win over Malaga on the 28th of August 2005, Silva finished as an undisputed starter as they reached the UEFA Cup straight from the second tier. He returned to Valencia in the summer of 2006, becoming an automatic first choice despite only being 20. In 2 seasons, he only missed 6 matches and netted 14 goals. His first league goal coming on the 5th of November 2006 in a 1-1 draw at Espanyol. In August 2008, he extended his contract by 5 years as he attracted interest from several Premier League teams. He won the Copa del Rey in 2008, his first trophy in Spain. After not appearing in the first 3 months of the 08-09 season due to a chronic ankle ailment, he returned in mid-December. On the 3rd of January 2009, he scored twice in a 3-1 home win over Atletico Madrid and still contributed with 19 matches and 4 goals as they qualified for the Europa League. In the 09-10 season, Silva scored a career-best 8 goals as Valencia finished 3rd and returned to the Champions League. On the 15th of April 2010, he scored a brace against Athletic Bilbao for a 2-0 home win, and he added 3 assists in the 4-4 thriller at Werder Bremen in the Europa League round of 16. Silva spent 7 years at Valencia from 2004 to 2010. On the 30th of June 2010, Manchester City announced they'd reached an agreement with Valencia over the transfer of Silva and that he would join the club on a 4-year deal. Prior to the start of the 10-11 season, on the 14th of July, Manchester City completed the signing of Silva and he was awarded the number 21 shirt, the same number he wore for Valencia and when playing for Spain. Manchester City had previously tried to sign Silva and his Valencia teammate David Villa in 2008, but were put off when Valencia quoted a £135 million combined price tag on both players. Roberto Mancini mainly deployed Silva as a winger and later in the Trequartista role in his first season. He made his Premier League debut on the 14th of August 2010 in a 0-0 draw against Tottenham Hotspur at White Hart Lane. He scored his first goal for the club on the 16th of September, 8 minutes into the Europa League group match against Red Bull Salzburg. On the 17th of October, he scored his first league goal in a game against Blackpool, netting City's 3rd in a 3-2 away win. In a 3-1 home win in the Europa League against Lech Poznan, he set up 2 goals for Emmanuel Adebayor. He made another assist, slipping through Adam Johnson for Manchester City's third in a 3-1 away win against West Ham United. Erroneous media reports emerged suggesting Silva could return to Spain and cited homesickness and difficulty to adapt to the English game. His performances, however, impressed City supporters and earned him 3 consecutive Manchester City Player of the Month awards from October to December 2010. On the 12th of February 2011, he was credited for the equalising goal in the 2-1 loss to rivals Manchester United when an Edin Dzeko shot deflected off his back and into the net. On the 2nd of March, he scored from 20 yards out in a 3-0 FA Cup win against Aston Villa. 3 days later, he scored the only goal in Manchester City's win against Wigan Athletic. Silva netted the third goal in a 5-0 rout of Sunderland on the 3rd of April. His assist to Yaya Toure against Everton at Goodison Park took Silva to 15 assists in all competitions for the season. Following his debut in the Premier League, Silva emerged as one of the league's finest playmakers. Carlos Tevez lauded him as the best signing Manchester City have made. Silva finished the 10-11 campaign with 4 goals and 7 assists in 35 league appearances. He began the 11-12 season in fine form. Scoring the third goal in City's 4-0 thrashing of Swansea City and was voted man of the match. He also scored the following week against Bolton Wanderers and was again man of the match. He then set up 2 of Sergio Aguero's 3 goals in City's second home game against Wigan Athletic. He was beginning to form a great understanding with him, with the pair having combined to score 3 goals already. After a series of magnificent displays from Silva, City boss Roberto Mancini compared him to fellow Spain internationals Xavi and Andres Iniesta and said that Silva is one of the best players in the world. On the 1st of October, Silva was awarded the Premier League Player of the Month for his outstanding performances, making it the first time ever that 2 Manchester City players had won the award in back-to-back months, with Edin Dzeko winning it the month before. In the first Manchester derby of the season at Old Trafford, Manchester City won 6-1, with Silva proving yet again to be instrumental in the Manchester City attack, scoring the 5th goal, setting up Edin Dzeko's second with a chested volley pass through the United defence, and participating in the first 2 goals with excellent passing to James Milner to assist Mario Balotelli, who was described as having been 2 steps ahead of all the United players. In the aftermath of the match on the 25th of October 2011, in an interview with a Spanish radio station, Silva revealed that he turned down Barcelona and Real Madrid so he could sign for City, and that he wants to stay at the club for years. He commented, "Madrid and Barcelona are great teams, but I'm happy here and I would like to stay here for many years." Former City and England defender Earl Barrett said he's almost impossible to stop due to his ability to create space. And Andy Cole, who mostly played for Manchester United, had stated that Silva's a joy to watch. Silva scored a goal in City's 3-2 away win against Queen's Park Rangers on the 5th of November, and also scored in City's 1-0 home win against Arsenal on the 18th of December. He also contributed by scoring the 4th goal in City's 4-0 win against West Bromwich Albion on the 11th of April 2012. Having done well to cut the gap between them and Manchester United to just 3 points, Silva went into April's Manchester derby knowing that a win would be enough to send them top of the league on goal difference. In a match widely billed as the biggest game in Premier League history, Silva delivered a corner which was headed home by Vincent Kompany for the winner. City won 1-0 and returned to the top, having been 8 points behind our rivals as recently as the start of that month. On the 13th of May 2012, with City heading into the final day of the season needing a win over QPR to secure our first top-flight title in 44 years, Silva delivered a cross for Edin Dzeko to score the equaliser in the 91st minute of the match. In addition to winning his first Premier League medal with Manchester City, he also finished the season on top of the assist table with 15 assists to his name and was one of 4 City players who made it in the PFA Premier League Team of the Year. On the 17th of September 2012, he signed a new 5-year deal at City, committing himself to the Etihad Stadium until 2017. Just 6 days after signing his new contract, Silva got off the mark in the 12-13 Premier League season, registering an assist for Joleon Lescott in a 1-1 draw with Arsenal. He followed this up with another assist the following week as he played in Aguero to score against Fulham at Craven Cottage. He injured himself playing for Spain in October, which meant he had to miss 3 games for Manchester City. On the 11th of November, he provided a crucial assist for a lofted through ball to striker Edin Dzeko, who converted in the 88th minute. To steal a 2-1 victory over Tottenham Hotspur. His first league goal of the season came in a 5-0 thrashing of Aston Villa at home in the very next league match. On the 19th of January 2013, he scored twice against Fulham at home in a 2-0 win. On the 9th of March, he scored the 5th and final goal in City's 5-0 win against Barnsley at the City of Manchester Stadium in the quarter-finals of the FA Cup, sealing progression to the semi-finals. Despite missing the clash with Chelsea through injury, City prevailed 2-1 through goals from Aguero and Sami Nasri, leading us to our second FA Cup final in 3 seasons. We would face relegation-threatened Wigan Athletic at Wembley. Silva started the match and played the full 90 minutes, but the Blues were rocked by a Pablo Zabaleta red card, with a late Ben Watson header compounding our misery. It was one of the great FA Cup upsets and ended up costing City boss Mancini his job. In the penultimate Premier League game against Reading, Silva made a superb pass to Dzeko, which took the entire Reading defence out of the game. Dzeko scored, sealing a 2-0 win in City's first match since the sacking of Roberto Mancini. Silva finished the season with 4 goals and 10 assists in 32 league appearances for a City squad that finished runners-up to City rivals Manchester United for the Premier League title. The 13-14 Premier League season was a tough one for Silva as numerous injuries limited him to just 27 league appearances. Nonetheless, he did well to maintain his stellar record of goals and assists for Manchester City. On the 19th of August 2013, Silva scored Manchester City's opening goal of the campaign in a 4-0 win against Newcastle United at the City of Manchester Stadium. He followed this up with an assist in the 3-2 defeat at Cardiff, crossing for Alvaro Negredo to score. On the 5th of October, Silva began one of his most productive spells in the Premier League, marking his first league start since August, following a number of injury setbacks. He assisted Sergio Aguero to score against Everton before scoring once and setting up another in a 3-1 victory over West Ham. He then scored again in the 7-0 home win over Norwich on the 2nd of November, but his good form was curtailed by a calf injury which ruled him out of City's next 6 games. He made his return on the 14th of December, scoring at home in a 6-3 win over Arsenal, before setting up goals in each of the next 2 games against Fulham and Liverpool. Silva was also enjoying one of his most productive Champions League campaigns to date, having managed 3 assists and the goal in Group D, including a striking a 3-2 win over previous winners Bayern Munich in December. City had also progressed deep into the League Cup, eliminating Leicester and Newcastle to reach the semi-finals, where they would face West Ham United. Silva played 73 minutes of the first leg, which City won 6-0, meaning he was rested for the return leg, which was a routine 3-0 win. He was restored to the starting lineup in the final, where goals from Yaya Toure, Nasri and sub Jesus Navas earned City our first League Cup triumph since 1976. The month of March was a productive one for Silva as he registered 2 goals and 2 assists in the league, along with excellent performances. He was named Manchester City's Player of the Month for March 2014 after scoring in away matches against Hull City and Arsenal. Silva followed this up with a goal and an assist against Liverpool at Anfield, but could not prevent the Blues from slipping to a 3-2 defeat. However, following a strong run of form in the final 5 games of the season, City pipped Liverpool to the title, and Silva claimed his second Premier League winners' medal to add to the one from the 11-12 season. He ended the campaign with 8 goals and 16 assists in all competitions. On the 10th of August, Silva played in the 2014 Community Shield, a match City lost 3-0 to Arsenal. 2 days later, he signed a 5-year contract extension with City. Like the previous season, on the 17th of August, Silva scored Manchester City's opening goal of the 14-15 Premier League season in a 2-0 away win against Newcastle United. Silva then scored against West Brom on Boxing Day. On the 21st of February 2015, Silva scored a brace against Newcastle United in a 5-0 win. He won the Etihad Player of the Month award for his performances in February. On the 4th of March, Silva scored in a 1-0 win against Leicester City to take him to 10 league goals in a season for the first time in his career. Jamie Redknapp described him as a maestro for his performances for City, while his teammate Edin Dzeko called him the best player in the Premier League. 3 days later, City took on Barcelona at the Etihad Stadium in the first leg of the Champions League round of 16. The Blues were largely blown away by Barcelona's immense quality, but the game was marked by an ingenious backheel flick from Silva to Aguero, who scored to pull one back for City. On the 19th of April, in a 2-0 win over West Ham, Silva was caught in the face by the elbow of Cheikhou Kouyaté, requiring 8 minutes of treatment before being subbed for Sami Nasri. On the 10th of May, Silva scored a goal in City's 6-0 win over Queen's Park Rangers, which resulted in their relegation. He ended the campaign with 12 goals and 10 assists in all competitions, with all 12 strikes coming in the Premier League, and was a career high. In the opening match of the new Premier League season, in a 3-0 win at West Brom, he delivered a performance his manager Manuel Pellegrini labelled unbelievable, as well as assisting the team's third goal, a clever backheel flick on Yaya Touré's long-range drive, as Yaya Touré's long-range drive sent the ball spinning into the net. After providing another 3 assists for the team in August in wins against Chelsea and Watford, he was nominated for both of the Manchester City and Premier League Player of the Month awards for August, and he won the club's Player of the Month. He was injured for most of October and November after picking up an ankle injury while playing for Spain on the 9th of October. He made his return as a 75th minute sub in a 3-1 league defeat at Southampton on the 28th of November. He netted the opener in the last Champions League group stage match on the 8th of December in a 4-2 home defeat of Borussia Mönchengladbach, which resulted in City topping our group for the first time. Silva provided another 3 assists in home victories against timely rivals Newcastle United and Sunderland. In a 4-0 home league win against Crystal Palace on the 16th of January 2016, Silva scored 1, set up another 2, and played a key pass in the remaining goal. Having started every match of City's League Cup campaign since the quarter-finals, he started the 2016 League Cup final on the 28th of February. Playing 110 minutes against Liverpool as the match went to extra time. He was replaced 10 minutes from time by Wilfred Bonney, and Manchester City went on to defeat Liverpool 3-1 on penalties, with Silva winning his second League Cup with the club. He claimed another brace of assists in a 4-0 home defeat of Aston Villa 6 days later. On the 24th of February, Silva scored City's second as we beat Dynamo Kiev 3-1 in the first leg of our Champions League round of 16. His second strike of the European campaign. He proceeded to start City's next 4 games in the competition as the Blues made our deepest run in history, reaching the semi-finals. However, having started as one of the brightest players in the semi-final first leg against Real Madrid, Silva was forced off after 40 minutes due to an injury. This caused him to miss the second leg at the Santiago Bernabeu, and we suffered in his absence. The Blues were beaten 1-0 on the night and on aggregate. Pellegrini blamed the loss on our main playmaker, asserting that the absence of Silva crippled his side and hamstrung their ability to create chances. Silva ended the campaign with 4 goals and 12 assists in 36 matches, a disappointing campaign for him personally, and one in which he missed 22 matches due to a persistent ankle injury, amongst other issues. Nonetheless, it was a trophy-winning season, the 9th major honour of his career. With Pep Guardiola arriving as our new manager to much fanfare, it was the beginning of a new era for City. Having put pen to paper on a 3-year contract with the Blues, the legendary manager stated that one of the reasons he'd come to the club was to work with Silva, who he described as a special player and one of the best he had ever trained. In Guardiola's first season at the club. Silva scored in a 5-0 win over Steaua Bucharest in the 16-17 Champions League playoff round. He enjoyed a relatively productive European campaign that season, having provided an assist for Raheem Sterling against Celtic. He later scored the equalising goal in a 1-1 draw against Borussia Mönchengladbach in the group stage. The Blues progressed to the knockout stages where we would face Monaco in the round of 16, but despite another pinpoint Silva cross to assist Aguero, City crashed out of the tournament on away goals following a 6-6 aggregate draw. In the league, despite a bright opening to the campaign when City stormed to the top of the table, it proved a difficult season for the Blues as we eventually fell away and ended up finishing third, 15 points behind winners Chelsea. It was a season in transition for the team who under Guardiola were beginning to implement a distant footballing philosophy. Despite the team's underperformance, Silva ended the campaign with 8 goals and 11 assists in all competitions, and he beat off competition from Sergio Aguero and Kevin De Bruyne to be named Manchester City's Player of the Season. It was his second being recognised as such following his winning of the award in the 11-12 season, with the Spaniard fast becoming one of Pep Guardiola's favourites in the City side. He started the 17-18 season with yet another display of finesse, providing 8 Premier League assists in 14 appearances, which was the highest total for any player in Europe's top 5 leagues. The 17-18 season was an especially difficult time for the Spaniard, with his newborn son having been born extremely prematurely. This led to him having to jet back and forth between England and Spain to visit his son and partner in a hospital in Madrid. Despite this, Silva continued to produce excellent performances, and on the 30th of November 2017, he signed a 1-year contract extension, keeping him at the club until 2020. On the 10th of December, he scored the winner in a closely fought Manchester derby at Old Trafford, stopping the ball past David De Gea from close range. He was forced to miss a crucial game against Tottenham Hotspur at the Etihad Stadium in December, as he was with his son in Spain. In his absence, City delivered a sumptuous performance, smashing Tottenham 4-1, following an urging from manager Pep Guardiola to secure the win for Silva and his partner Jessica. Midfielder Kevin De Bruyne held his fingers up to show the number 21, which was Silva's shirt number. After scoring City's second in a touching tribute to the Spaniard on the 3rd of January 2018, he said that his newborn son Matteo had been born extremely prematurely and was fighting to stay alive. And on the 11th of May 2018, Matteo was reported as healthy and was allowed to come home. City ended up winning the Premier League with a record 100-point tally, leading to the team being nicknamed the Centurions. The 19-point gap to second-place Manchester United was also a record-winning margin and still stands to this day. He also scored in the 2018 EFL Cup final against Arsenal. For his contributions, he was nominated for the PFA Player of the Year and named in the PFA Team of the Year for the second time as City won the Premier League. It was his 3rd Premier League title and his second time being named in the PFA Team of the Year, and he finished the season with 10 goals and 14 assists across all competitions. On the 15th of September 2018, in a 3-0 home win over Fulham, Silva scored his 50th Premier League goal in his 253rd Premier League appearance, also marking his 350th appearance for Manchester City in the same match. City and Liverpool went head-to-head in an absorbing title race, which ended up with City pipping the Reds to the title by a point. It was a remarkable season for City as we went on to win the Community Shield, League Cup and FA Cup, with Silva scoring in the final of the FA Cup. In doing this, we became the first club in English football history to win all 4 domestic honours in a single season. He played in 33 of City's 38 league games, registering 10 goals and 14 assists in all competitions, as he picked up his 2nd FA Cup, 4th League Cup and 4th Premier League. Following the departure of Vincent Kompany in 2019, Silva inherited the club captaincy. On the 26th of June 2019, he announced that he would leave Manchester City at the end of the 1920 season. The campaign began with City facing Liverpool in the Community Shield at Wembley, and City won on penalties following a 1-1 draw, with Silva producing a brilliant pass to assist Raheem Sterling for City's goal. On the 8th of July, he provided 2 assists, the second of which was his 10th of the season, and scored a free kick as City beat Newcastle United 5-0. With a free kick goal, he reached 150 Premier League goals and assists, which only a few midfielders had done before. On the 1st of March 2020, City took on Aston Villa in the League Cup final, City's third League Cup final in as many years and fifth in 7 seasons. The Blues won 2-1 with goals from Sergio Aguero and Rodri and lifted the trophy for the third time in a row. It was Silva's only trophy as captain of Manchester City and his 5th League Cup, making him the most decorated player in the competition's 60-year history. On the 26th of July 2020, Silva played his final Premier League game for City in a 5-0 win over Norwich City. He was subbed late in the match to applause from all present. Just under a month later, he played his last game in the City shirt in a disappointing 3-1 defeat to Olympique Lyon in the Champions League quarter-finals, coming on as a late sub. At the age of 34, Silva ended the campaign with a respectable return of 6 goals and 11 assists in all competitions, enough to earn himself a third appearance in the PFA Team of the Year despite City's underwhelming season. On the 17th of August 2020, City chairman Khaldoon Al-Mubarak announced plans for a statue of Silva, along with teammates Sergio Aguero and Vincent Kompany, to be installed at the Etihad Stadium to commemorate his 10-year transformational contribution at City. The statues of Silva and Kompany were unveiled on the 28th of August 2021. He appeared in over 400 matches for the club. Silva was also named in the PFA Team of the Year 3 times and is the youngest player to reach 200 wins in the Premier League. He left Manchester City in 2020 after a 10-year tenure. He's considered one of Manchester City's greatest ever players, as well as one of the best midfielders in Premier League history. On the 17th of August 2020, Spanish club Real Sociedad announced the signing of Silva on a free transfer, and he returned to La Liga. Despite reports of a move to Italian side Lazio, he made his debut for the club in a 0-0 home draw against Real Madrid, coming on as a sub in the second half. On the 25th of October 2020, Silva provided 2 assists as they beat Huesca 4-1 in La Liga. A week later, he scored his first goal for the club in a 4-1 away win against Celta Vigo. Following his excellent performances for Sociedad, Silva was named as well as being named Real Sociedad Player of the Month. On the 21st of February 2021, Silva once again provided 2 assists as Real Sociedad defeated Alaves 4-0 in the league. This propelled them to 5th in the table, while Silva became the only player to provide 2 assists in 2 different La Liga games that season. On the 3rd of April 2021, Silva started in and played 85 minutes of the 2020 Copa del Rey final against local rivals Athletic Bilbao. The match was settled by a 63rd minute penalty from captain Mikel Oyarzabal after Christian Porto had been brought down in the box. Silva was subbed late in the game to a standing ovation from the Sociedad bench, and along with his teammates went on to lift the Copa del Rey, and Silva did it for the second time, Real Sociedad's first major honour since 1987. It was the 16th major honour of his career and his second Copa del Rey. This final was postponed from a year earlier, so Silva and Carlos Fernandez had taken no part in the other rounds played in the 1920 season. On the 21st of July 2023, Silva ruptured his anterior cruciate ligament during pre-season training with Real Sociedad. Just 6 days later, on the 27th of July, he announced his retirement from football, aged 37. First represented Spain in the 2003 Under-17 World Championship in Finland, scoring 3 goals. In 2006, he became an Under-21 international and scored 4 goals during the 2005 FIFA World Youth Championship. This was enough to earn him joint 4th place in the goal ranking alongside Italian striker Graziano Pelle. He made his senior international debut in the 1-0 friendly home defeat to Romania on the 15th of November on the 15th of November 2006 and continued to receive call-ups to the sides after good contributions in his first games. On the 22nd of August 2007, he scored his first 2 goals for Spain, netting twice in a 3-2 friendly win against Greece, and was then called up to the squad of 23 for Euro 2008. He started 5 of Spain's 6 matches at this tournament. In Spain's second group stage match against Sweden in Innsbruck, he assisted Fernando Torres with a pinpoint cross from the edge of the box, with a Liverpool forward scoring the opener in an eventual 2-1 win. In the semi-finals against Russia, he scored the 3rd goal for Spain after a quick counter-attack in which Cesc Fabregas delivered a low cross, and he sent the ball into Igor Akinfeev's goal with his left foot. In the final, he was involved in an incident with Germany's Lucas Podolski. After he pulled Podolski to the ground, he approached Silva, which resulted in an angry exchange of words and a coming together of heads, but the referee decided not to punish. Shortly afterwards, Spanish coach Luis Aragonés subbed Silva for Santi Cazorla in an attempt to calm the tensions. After appearing regularly during 2010 World Cup qualifying, Silva was also picked for the squad for the finals in South Africa. He played the first match against Switzerland, which ended in a 1-0 defeat, then against Germany in the semi-finals as a late sub in a 1-0 win. Spain eventually won their first World Cup after beating the Netherlands 1-0 after extra time in the final. On the 11th of August 2010, during an international friendly with Mexico, Silva scored 2 minutes into second half injury time, ending the game with a 1-1 draw. In the Euro 2012 qualifier against Liechtenstein on the 3rd of September 2010, Silva scored after 62 minutes in a 4-0 away win. The following month in the same competition, he scored through a rare header as the national team downed Lithuania in Salamanca 3-1. In a friendly against Colombia on the 9th of February 2011, he came off the bench to score the game's only goal with just 4 minutes remaining, helping Spain to a hard-fought 1-0 win. He scored twice and provided an assist in Spain's 3-1 win over Scotland in their final match of Euro 2012 qualifiers. The win saw the Spaniards enter the tournament with a perfect qualifying record by winning all the group games. He scored the first goal in Spain's 2-2 comeback against Costa Rica, a friendly match where he came on as a sub in the second half with Spain trailing 2-0. He once again scored in a friendly against Venezuela to make the score 2-0 in a match that ended in a 5-0 win. Heading into Euro 2012, he scored in their pre-tournament friendly against China by finishing off a short-given goal with Andres Iniesta in the 84th minute. Silva was a starter in all 6 matches of Spain's Euro 2012 campaign. In their opening match of the tournament against Italy, he delivered a superb flick-through ball to Cesc Fabregas. He scored to level the game up at 1-1. In Spain's second Group C match against the Republic of Ireland, Silva produced one of the performances of the tournament, scoring 1 and providing 2 assists in a 4-0 win. His goal was mesmeric as he left Sean St. Ledger on the floor and beat Stephen Ward before coolly slotting it past former City teammate Shea Gibbon. In the 14th minute of the Euro 2012 final, he headed home a Cesc Fabregas cross, giving Spain a 1-0 lead. The match ended 4-0 and concluded the tournament, in which Silva scored 2 goals and made 3 assists, the highest amount of goal contributions of any player at the Euros. He was subsequently named in UEFA Euros 2012 Team of the Tournament for his performances. He also finished as the joint highest assist provider at the Euros with 3. He was named in Vicente Del Bosque's 23-man squad list for Spain's contestation of the 2013 Confederations Cup held in Brazil. On the 20th of June 2013, he scored 2 goals and assisted 1 for David Villa in Spain's 10-0 group stage demolition of Tahiti at the Maracanã. Spain would go on to reach the 2013 Confederations Cup final, where they were soundly beaten 3-0 by host Brazil. He was part of Spain's 23-man squad, which travelled to Brazil for the 2014 World Cup, with Spain looking to defend the title they captured 4 years ago in South Africa. Silva started the opening match against the Netherlands in Bahia. However, they were unable to repeat their success over the Orange from 2010 and lost 5-1. Despite taking an early lead, he started the second group game against Chile, playing the full 90 minutes. However, it was another bad outing for the side, who was soundly beaten 2-0 and eliminated from the tournament. Despite the team's underperformance, Silva was one of the brighter sparks for Spain, creating 7 chances for his team, the most of any Spanish player at the World Cup. Euro 2016 was one of Silva's best outings for the national team at a major tournament. Starting in all 4 matches, Silva began the tournament with a show-stopping display against the Czech Republic, in which he created 6 chances for his team, which was the most of any Spain player in a single match at the tournament. The game ended in a 1-0 victory for the reigning European champions. In the second group game, which was a clash with Turkey in Nice, Silva was a key cog as Spain produced one of their best performances at the tournament, dispatching the Turks 3-0. He was mesmeric throughout and received a standing ovation from Spain and Turkey fans alike when he was subbed late in the game. He played the full 90 minutes in Spain's third group game against Croatia. It was an exceptional display, with a midfielder playing a sublime free ball to teammate Cesc Fabregas, who squared to Alvaro Morata to score the opener. He later won a penalty which was missed by Sergio Ramos as Spain fell to a 2-1 defeat. Despite this, Silva created 5 chances in the game, the second most of any Spain player in a Euro 2016 match after himself. Spain were eventually eliminated in the round of 16 by Italy, who beat them 2-0. Silva ended the tournament averaging 3.3 chances created per 90, the third highest at the tournament. He continued his goal-scoring record under new boss Julen Lopetegui, scoring 9 times in 12 matches. In May 2018, he was named to Spain's squad for the 2018 World Cup in Russia. He started all their matches in that World Cup, which eventually ended with a 4-3 penalty shootout defeat to host Russia in the round of 16. After the 2018 World Cup, Silva announced his retirement from international football. He ended his international career with 125 caps for Spain, having scored 35 goals. Following his retirement, Silva drew plaudits from many of his former teammates, being described as one of the best ever and one of the most talented players Spain had ever produced, without a shadow of a doubt, by midfielder partners Andres Iniesta and Xavi. He formed a midfield partnership with these two, which led to 3 consecutive international tournament victories, with the Euros in 2008 and 2012 and the World Cup in 2010. Vicente del Bosque, who led Spain to the 2010 World Cup and 2012 Euros, even went as far as to declare Silva as Spain's Lionel Messi. He's one of 13 Spanish players to have 100 caps. He scored 35 goals for Spain, which made him the 4th highest goal scorer in their history, and also provided 29 assists, which makes him the 2nd highest assist provider. He's considered one of the greatest midfielders of his generation due to his passing ability and possession retaining qualities, earning him the nicknames Merlin, which was a reference to the legendary wizard, and El Mago from his teammates and fans. He was a talented and agile left-footed player. He was known for having an excellent first touch, good dribbling skills, and outstanding technical ability, which, along with his intelligent attacking movements, allowing him to retain possession in tight spaces and to create space for himself and teammates to open up a defence. His composure on the ball, as well as his vision, passing accuracy, ability to read the game, pick a pass, and control the tempo of his team's play, I've seen him become one of the best players in the world in his position. Although he primarily served as a playmaker for his team, He's capable of scoring goals himself as well as creating them, which enables him to be deployed in several offensive roles. He's usually fielded in the free role as an attacking midfielder, where he's given space to roam the pitch, but he's also been used as a winger, a false nine, a second striker, or a deep-lying central midfielder. So that is it for this video. Everyone, thank you all so much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. Dugout Daily, the football channel, hate the Apex F1 channel, and at MCSC Hibs on Twitter. Everybody, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll speak to you all soon. Take care, and goodbye.